This is Business Week Armenia, CivilNet's weekly economic digest. Here's what you need to know this week. The London-based banking giant HSBC will exit Armenia after reaching an agreement to sell off its local subsidiary to the country's leading lender, marking the end to HSBC's nearly three-decade presence in Armenia and leaving the country with no Western commercial banks. In separate statements this week, HSBC Armenia and Ardshin Bank each confirmed the deal without disclosing its terms. Armenia's regulatory and antitrust bodies have to sign off on the agreement before it can enter into force. The government's decision is expected within the next year, the firm said. HSBC's exit will leave Armenia with just over a dozen commercial banks, most of them either Armenian or Russian. HSBC Armenia said the sale aligns with its parent company's global strategy to redeploy capital from less strategic or low-connectivity businesses into higher growth opportunities. Reuters reported exclusively last year that HSBC, one of the world's largest lenders, was considering pulling out of as many as a dozen countries in an effort to pivot to Asia. For its part, Ardshin Bank described HSBC Armenia as specializing in serving affluent retail customers and blue-chip Armenian corporates and said it looks forward to the acquisition. Affirming Ardshin Bank's BB- credit rating, Fitch said this week it sees no immediate rating implications for Ardshin Bank from its announced acquisition of HSBC, citing the latter's small size and higher capital ratios. Still, the acquisition will strengthen Ardshin Bank's already sizable lending and funding franchise, Fitch said. HSBC serves some 30,000 customers in Armenia, while Ardshin Bank works with more than 375,000 clients. HSBC Armenia reported about $27 million in earnings last year, against Ardshin Bank's roughly $156 million. Armenia's banks have posted record profits since Russia's full-scale invasion of Ukraine 2 years ago, with billions of dollars pouring in from Russia. Armenia remains one of the few countries in the world to still accept Russia's Mir payment cards. The arrest last week of the founder of one of Armenia's leading tech companies on corruption charges has rocked the country's upstart IT scene, which has warned the development may damage Armenia's attractiveness to foreign investors. The detention of Synergy's Ashot Hovhannisyan harms the reputation of Armenia, which is beginning to be seen as a country that violates due process and a risky country for making investments and starting businesses. The Union of Advanced Technology Enterprises, which represents more than 120 Armenian IT companies, said in a statement over the weekend. Hovhannisyan was arrested last week after a government probe into alleged mishandling of public tenders at Armenia's economy ministry, together with one current Synergy executive, one former Synergy executive, and 4 officials at the ministry itself. Armenia's intelligence and investigative authorities claim the officials illegally disqualified one applicant to ensure a tender was won by Synergy, even though the other firm submitted a much lower bid. The tender was later invalidated in court, and Synergy did not receive any government funds as a result. Aside from Hovhannisyan, other individuals detained include Ani Gevorkyan, a former Synergy employee and sister-in-law of Parliament Speaker Alen Simonyan, and Ani Ispiryan, Armenia's deputy economy minister. All 4 ministry officials have since been released on house arrest to await trial, while the 3 Synergy executives remain in pretrial detention. That prompted lawmakers from Armenia's ruling Civil Contract Party this week to petition the courts to similarly release the 3 Synergy executives, a move the party has insisted was not ordered by Prime Minister Nikol Pashinyan, who is close to Simonyan. Synergy, a software developer that is registered in the Washington, D.C. area but mainly operates from Yerevan, employs hundreds of people in Armenia. In a statement this week, the company demanded the release of its executives and rejected the charges as unfounded. For his part, Economy Minister Vahan Kerobyan has also dismissed the allegations made against his subordinates, insisting this week that people who did not steal are being punished. Armenia's IT sector has long been seen as the country's most dynamic and promising industry, and now employs more than 30,000 people, including thousands of Russians who have moved to the country since Russia's full-scale invasion of Ukraine 2 years ago. Turnover in Armenia's IT market topped $1.1 billion last year, a year-on-year increase of about 52%. And, as always, please follow CivilNet for the latest news and independent reporting from our contributors on the ground here in Armenia.